Welcome to the treasure trove of folk tales, a magical collection of stories that have inspired generations. Embark on a mythical journey with heroes, fairies, and enchanting creatures, opening the door to a world of imagination and emotion.
The story of Baba Abdal's, the blind man Dot, may it please your majesty. As night falls upon the city of Baghdad, and the silver moon hangs above the palace domes, and the night wind whispers like ancient prophecies, I beg to tell your majesty a story so strange that even those who lived through it dared not believe that fate could be so ironic and cruel. It is the story of Baba Abdal's, the blind man, a tale of greed and enlightenment, of wealth and loss, of bright eyes exchanged for boundless treasures, and of the price a man must pay for daring to bargain with destiny. In those days, your majesty, in the prosperous city of Baghdad, there lived a man named Baba Abdal's. He was neither a merchant, nor an official, nor a scholar. He was merely a poor wanderer, living on odd jobs, sometimes carrying goods in the market, sometimes leading camels for hire, sometimes sleeping under the eaves of an inn or outside the gates of a temple. Baba Abdal's had no wife, no children, no home, and not a single gold coin to spare. The only things he possessed were a gaunt body, calloused hands, and a heart that never ceased to dream of a different life. During the day, he toiled amidst the dust and noise of the marketplace. At night, he lay on his back, gazing at the stars, imagining himself the owner of chests of gold, of glittering palaces, of a life free from hunger and humiliation. Just one chance to change my life, Baba Abdal's would often mutter to himself. Just one chance, and I will live differently. But fate, your majesty, rarely grants anything for free. One morning, as the sun was just rising above the horizon, Baba Abdal's was hired to guide a small caravan across the edge of the desert to a distant oasis. The job promised to earn him a few silver coins, enough to live on for a few more days. They traveled for many hours. The sun scorched their skin. The sand burned beneath the camels' feet, and the dry wind carried the heat, making everyone's throats parched. When the group stopped to rest, Baba Abdal's wandered off onto a less traveled path. It was in this desolate place that he met a strange man. The man wore a silver-gray cloak, his face partially obscured by a thick scarf. His eyes were deep and unusually bright, as if they could see through the thoughts of those he faced. "Who are you?" Baba Abdal's asked, both wary and curious. The man smiled. "I am the one who can grant you what you have always dreamed of," he replied, his voice low and slow like the desert wind. Baba Abdal's chuckled dryly. "I am so poor that I have nothing to lose. If you are a swindler, find someone else." "No," the stranger shook his head. "It is precisely because you have nothing that you are the right person." The strange man led Baba Abdal's to a large rock half buried in the sand. He placed his hand on it and recited ancient incantations that Baba Abdal's had never heard before. The ground trembled. The rock slowly split open, revealing a dark passageway leading deep into the earth. "Down there," the stranger said, "is the treasure of 7 ancient kings. Gold, silver, and jewels enough to make a beggar richer than a king." Baba Abdal's heart pounded. "So what is the price?" he asked, his voice trembling. The stranger looked him straight in the eyes. "Only one thing," he replied, "your eyes." Baba Abdal's recoiled in horror. "Blindness? No. I'd rather be poor." The other man laughed, a laugh that was neither joyful nor malicious, but cold as fate itself. "Think carefully," he said. "You have keen eyes, but you only see hunger and humiliation. If you were blind, you would no longer see suffering, but live in luxury." Then he vanished, leaving Baba Abdal standing in the desert, his heart as turbulent as a sandstorm. For days afterward, Baba Abdal's couldn't forget the offer. When he worked, he thought of gold. When he slept, he dreamed of treasure. When he woke, poverty choked his chest. Finally, he returned to the desert. The man in gray appeared as if he had been waiting. "I accept," Baba Abdal said, his voice hoarse. The other man nodded. A strange ritual took place. A flash of light, a searing pain in Baba Abdal's eyes, and then eternal darkness. But immediately afterward, he heard the clinking of metal, the sound of gold and silver pouring down like rain. Baba Abdal's, now blind, became the richest man in Baghdad. He built palaces, hired servants, and ate the finest food. People respected him, bowing before him. But every night, in the thick darkness, Baba Abdal's began to feel a terrible emptiness. He had gold, but no light. And that, Your Majesty, is only the beginning of the story. Your Majesty, from the day he traded his eyes for treasure, Baba Abdal's lived in a world where everything was measured by sound, scent, and touch. He could no longer see the sunlight, but he could hear the rustling silk of luxurious garments, smell the incense wafting through the grand hall, and distinctly feel the obsequious bowing of his servants. His palace rose like a mushroom after the rain. Marble columns, gilded ceilings, and fountains gurgling day and night. The people of Baghdad whispered that Baba Abdal's was so wealthy that if he opened his treasure vaults, the gold would illuminate an entire neighborhood. Those who had once scorned him now praised him and sought his favor. But Your Majesty, wealth did not bring peace. Every night, Baba Abdal sat alone in his dark room, listening to the beating of his heart and wondering, I have bought everything except the light. One night, as the wind sighed through the long corridors, his steward whispered in Baba Abdal's ear that 3 strangers, all blind, requested an audience. Let them in, Baba Abdal's replied, a strange feeling rising within him, as if destiny was knocking at his door. The 3 men entered. Though he could not see them, Baba Abdal's sensed their unusual nature. Their steady gait, their calm voices, and the unfamiliar scent of lands he had never visited. The first introduced himself as Mustafa of Basra, a former sailor. The second was Salim from Damascus, a merchant. The third, with a hoarse but majestic voice, called himself Hassan of the desert. We are alike, Hassan said. We have all seen too much, so we had to close our eyes to live. Baba Abdal's shuddered. They told Baba Abdal's their stories. Each had been poor and desperate, and each had encountered a guide in the desert, exactly like the man in the gray robe of years past. Mustafa became blind to gain ships and cargo. Salim became blind to gain silver, gold, and power. Hassan was blinded in exchange for his life after a deadly curse. You're not the only one, Salim said. We are the chosen ones, or the cursed ones. Baba Abdal's whispered. Hassan smiled sadly. Both. The 3 revealed that they belonged to an ancient secret society, the Brotherhood of Darkness. Those blinded by wealth met once a year to share their riches and help each other overcome dangers that money couldn't solve. The society exists to remind us, Mustafa said, that every treasure has a price. Baba Abdal's was invited to join. He hesitated, but curiosity and loneliness won out. I agree, he said. That very night he was led to a deep cellar beneath the palace, a place where light never reached. In the cellar, other blind men gathered. They placed their hands on an ancient chest. Whispering oaths. An old man with a silver beard spoke in a voice that seemed to come from another realm. Those who trade their eyes will never see the end of their lives. But whoever dares to step out of the darkness will pay with everything they have. Baba Abdal's felt a chill run down his spine. When the ceremony ended, Hassan whispered in his ear, there is someone in the society trying to break the covenant. And if he succeeds, we will all be dragged into the abyss. Your Majesty, since the night he joined the Brotherhood of Darkness, Baba Abdal's heart has known no peace. In his magnificent palace, he heard whispers when no one was near, footsteps stopping behind him and then disappearing, and doors closing by themselves as if by an invisible hand. His treasures remained intact, but something was cracking. Not the gold and silver, but his sense of security. One morning, the steward tremblingly reported that 2 chests of gold had disappeared without a trace, without a sound. Baba Abdal's understood immediately. Only those blind like him knew how to move in the darkness without leaving a mark. The prophecy has begun, he whispered. That night, Baba Abdal's summoned Hassan. In the sealed room, there was only the scent of incense and heavy breathing. "Hassan," he said, "who in the Brotherhood wants to break the covenant?" Hassan remained silent for a long time. "Salim," he finally replied. "He cannot bear to share. He believes that if he breaks the covenant with the man in gray, he will regain his sight while still keeping the treasure." Baba Abdal's heart tightened. "Is that possible?" "Yes," Hassan said, "but the price will be the destruction of us all." Before they could even consider the consequences, disaster struck Da in the dead of night. Screams rang out. Servants fell. The palace gates were broken down. Salim led his mercenaries, silent as ghosts dot in the darkness. Baba Abdal's only heard the clash of steel, the sound of men falling, and Salim's dry, mocking laughter. "Baba Abdal's!" Salim shouted. "You have the gold. I have the way out of the darkness." Hassan pulled Baba Abdal's through a secret tunnel, the very path that led to the place where they had performed the initiation ceremony. They escaped the city before dawn. The desert stretched endlessly, the wind and sand like knives cutting their flesh. No camels, no guides, only a few bags of gold and water. "The desert will judge us," Hassan said. They walked in the scorching sun, through the cold nights, many times feeling utterly exhausted. A blind man leading a blind man, stumbling through the ever-present threat of death. Asterisk. After 3 days, they arrived at a strange oasis. The water was crystal clear, the trees lush and green, but there were no birds. As night fell, Baba Abdalla heard a familiar voice, the voice of the man in gray. "Did you think you could escape? The covenant?" The man in gray appeared, like the darkness solidifying into a form. Selim was there too, bound and trembling. "He betrayed us," the man in gray said. "And betrayal always has a price." The man in gray turned to Baba Abdalla. "You can keep the treasure," he said, "or free everyone by giving it up." Baba Abdalla was silent. Gold, power, everything he had traded his eyes for, now hung in a delicate balance. The desert waited silently for his answer. Under the cold, star-filled sky of the birdless oasis, Baba Abdalla stood silently between two precipices. Before him was the trembling Salim, behind him the breathless Hassan, and before them all, the man in gray, a human-shaped shadow of night. "Time waits for no one," the man in gray said. "The covenant was sealed with despair, and can only be broken with sacrifice." Baba Abdalla reached out with a trembling hand and touched the heavy bag of gold. Each coin was a memory of past hunger, each clink a reminder of his lost eyes. "I choose," he began, then choked on his words. Salim cried out, tears mixing with the sand. "I just want to live," he cried. "I want to see the world one more time. I don't want to die in darkness like you." The man in gray turned to Salim. "You want light," he said, "but you have never learned to see." A cold wind blew. Salim screamed as a flash of light flared and then died out. He collapsed, permanently blind. But the treasure around him turned to sand. "That is the price of boundless ambition," Hassan whispered. Baba Abdal's turned towards the man in gray. "Who are you?" he asked. The man in gray slowly removed his hood. Not the face of a demon, but the face of time. Both young and old, both familiar and distant. "I am the keeper of balance," he replied. "When men's hearts are unbalanced by greed, I restore equilibrium." "And my sight?" Baba Abdal's asked. "Light does not belong to the eyes," the keeper of balance said. "It belongs to choice." Baba Abdal's took a deep breath. "If I relinquish the treasure," he said, "will others be free?" The keeper of balance nodded. "And you? You will live," he replied, "with darkness, or with a different kind of light." Baba Abdal's removed his gold ring, throwing it into the sand. Then the bags of gold, then each chest. With each release, he felt his heart lighten. The oasis trembled. A wind rose. The gold turned to sand, and the sand drifted into the desert. When everything settled, Baba Abdal's was still blind. But he perceived the world more clearly than ever before. Hassan's breathing, the scent of cool water, the spreading peace. "I have no regrets," he said, but the keeper of balance smiled. "You have seen." He vanished into the night like mist. Dawn broke. Hassan guided Baba Abdal's away from the oasis. They had no more gold, but they also had no more curse. Ahead lay a long road, one of poverty, but also of freedom. Your Majesty, Baba Abdal's and Hassan returned to Baghdad in the guise of two poor travelers. Without gold, without retinue, without a palace. They passed through the city gates like people whom fate had never favored. Baghdad was still bustling, still vibrant, but for Baba Abdal's, every sound now held new meaning. He heard the laughter of children, the cries of vendors in the early morning, the lapping of the Tigris River against the shore, things he had never truly appreciated when he was wealthy. "I have traveled a long way," he said to Hassan, only to return to being a man. Baba Abdal's did not beg, nor did he complain. He sat before the great temple gate, telling stories to those who stopped to listen. He spoke of treasures, of darkness, of the man in gray, and of choices. People called him Old Blind Baba Abdal's. Some listeners shuddered, some wept, some laughed bitterly. But all who listened fell silent for a long time afterward. "That old blind man is poor," they said, "but his words are richer than gold." "Your Majesty, that is the entire story of Old Blind Baba Abdal's, the man who went from poverty to wealth, and then from wealth back to being a man. But if Your Majesty believes that a man's journeys end only in deserts and treasures, then I must tell you, the sea holds even more dramatic fates. For in the place where white-capped waves crash and winds howl across the vast ocean, there is a man who has survived death 6 times, and is preparing to embark on his 7th and final sea voyage. If Your Majesty wishes to hear more, I will tell the story tomorrow night. The 7th and final sea voyage of Sinbad."
The tale has come to an end, yet the magic of these legends lives on in your heart. Keep dreaming and spreading the wonder.